On this week's episode, we're going to be going over our early reactions to Nutcracker and the Four Realms and Bohemian Rhapsody. There's a few new trailers that we're going to be discussing, and 3 different franchises get sequels. Let's get started.
This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome, everyone, to Off the Break Podcast. I'm Cody, and with me today are Kyle and Eric.
What's up? What's up?
Hello.
Joining us on this end of the week, wonderful, small podcast.
Yeah.
Small podcast.
I thought you were going to say wonderful, like, Friday
Yeah.
afternoon. I'm looking outside.
I meant
and it's
short.
as depressing as possible.
Yeah. I meant, like, short
Short
time.
and sweet.
Yeah, short and sweet podcasts on Fridays. I love these ones.
Yeah, Fridays are just the wind down day before the weekend, and it's just a good time for us just to
Before we get out there and see the movies.
just to talk and relax, and we like to keep them short and sweet. Have fun with them
Right.
too.
So today, I went and saw Nutcracker last night, and Kyle went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody.
That is true.
I wanted to see Bohemian, but I have some friends that really wanted to see it over the weekend together, and sometimes those movies are just better to go see it with your buddies.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of what makes movies so special, is sharing them with people. So
Definitely.
Absolutely. The
Whenever
communal experience.
yeah, whenever I can, I go and try to do it with people.
I think Bohemian was the right call too
Yeah.
for this weekend, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, want to get together and go watch Nutcracker and the Four Realms? Yeah, we're all psyched.
Yeah, woohoo!
And I don't mind seeing Nobody's Fool by myself. I can laugh alone in the theater and be perfectly content.
Oh, good.
I admire that. It could be the funniest movie ever, and it's pretty hard for me to like laugh out loud if I'm watching it alone.
Really?
Yeah. The most I'll get is like a.
If you guys didn't hear that was a nose whisper.
Nose whisper.
I don't know what else to call it, like a nose
Or, I
breath.
mean,
Yeah, those were.
I mean, come on. Who laughs the same amount when they're watching a movie by themselves at home versus like? Well, I guess you're gonna be seeing it in the theater, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I get you. I'm that same way as well.
Like, I probably wouldn't laugh half as hard as I do in any of these comedies if I didn't see it in the theater with everybody else laughing. It's kind of contagious.
Yeah, it's that contagious factor for sure.
I think there's a little bit of that, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
For me, though, I just don't laugh if the joke's not funny. It doesn't matter who I'm with. Like, if it just doesn't
I mean,
work
true.
for
Like,
me.
the joke has to
imagining
work as
you.
well.
I'm imagining you literally the only person in the theater sitting like smack dab in the middle and
Giggling.
Whoopi Goldberg does something and you're just like
Yes, that's
just
gonna.
losing it.
Cody laughs like a crazy person in the theater.
I think I want to go see that movie just for that scene in the trailer where Whoopi Goldberg is like, "I get bad reception. I can't hear you." It starts
Oh,
like
Yeah.
lowering herself
That
from
would
the
not
window.
be funny if it wasn't Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
But I love her.
So I'm looking forward to that this weekend. But
Well, which one do you want to go first, I guess?
I'll go first.
Cool. Give
Mine
us the
was short
rundown
and
on
sweet.
Nutcracker.
And that gives you a lot about what Nutcracker was. Short and sweet. It has a 99-minute runtime, which I was like, ooh, hour and a half or so. And it really was almost too short. I never go to a movie and be like, oh, that wasn't enough. Usually they're too long.
It's very, very rare that happens.
I think it just needed a little bit more backstory or just a scene or two more of the realms. They kind of go through it really quick, and they spend the majority of their time either in the fourth realm or in this like big castle thing.
What are the different realms?
So it's the land of sweets, the land of flowers, the land of
Oh, I thought it was
snowflakes, and the fourth realm, which is the land of amusements, but they have banished
really
that
different.
word.
One of these is
I was
not like
expecting
the other.
fire, water, earth, air.
Yeah.
It's not Avatar.
It's not the only thing that uses the elements.
Yeah,
Or
that's a
the
good
fifth
point.
element.
Yeah. Man, now I want to watch this show. Maybe that's what I'll do this weekend. Anyway, on to your review.
So it was really cute. Mackenzie Foy is just darling in it. So pretty, and she does really good job. And then the newcomer who plays the Captain Nutcracker,
Yeah, I
Philip?
can't remember his name. Like,
I just would butcher his name.
yeah, it's
I'll
a,
look
it's
it
Kyle,
a
up.
do you have
hyphenated
it?
thing.
I can have it up here in a minute.
Yes. He was.
Jawara something. I think.
I better look this
I
one
really
Yes.
hope it's
I'm
at
gonna
least
go-
somewhat close to
I'm gonna
that.
defer to Kyle's expertise on the name, but he plays the captain, the captain Nutcracker, and his name is Philip in it, and he
That's easier to pronounce.
he does really good. Like
Is he kind of like the?
it's very charming.
Is he kind of like her guide through the realms? Is he the one kind of
He's kind
taking her
of
around?
he's the first one that she comes in contact with. Technically, she comes in contact with another character, but I don't want to give too much of the movie away because this is
Ooh.
not spoilerific. Next week we can talk about it.
Yeah, true.
But he is the first one that she comes in contact with and becomes her de facto like protector
Okay.
and friend and sort of guide. So.
And I believe it's this guy, Jaden for Knight. For Wara?
I was combining. I was combining the J from Jaden with that Fawara.
The
So-
W
Yes.
is what throws me off. But
Totally
anyway, that's
understandable.
him.
Honest mistake. Anybody would have made it.
Yes, he was very, like I said, very charming, very surprising.
I haven't seen him in anything else. He doesn't
I really
have a
enjoyed
Wikipedia
his little
page.
character.
Apparently, he's in Ready Player One.
Oh.
Not a lead or nothing, but he's in there.
I still need to
Nice.
rewatch that. I fell asleep in the theater. Not because it
I
was
never saw
boring, but
I have a buddy that can relate to that.
yeah,
so.
I fell asleep. I
yeah.
woke up and I'm like, my friend was
I
like,
just-
"That was so cool! Godzilla just fought Gundam or something." I'm like, "What?"
I think that
Oh.
happened. I don't really remember.
That actually sounded kind of cool.
Yeah. Anyway,
Oh.
what? Sorry, Cody. What were you saying?
That was it. He
Oh,
was
that
just
was it.
really
Oh,
great,
okay.
and that it was cute, and a little short. Oh, I do have to tell you, I didn't really look at the cast before I went into it because I just thought it was Mackenzie Foy and the black kid, and so I was like,
You see
okay,
that
those are the
disturbing Keira Knightley makeup.
yeah, and Keira Knightley and her, she is a little
Ugh.
creepy in this.
I am the sugar plum fairy.
It's like,
oh,
you're a-
Kira,
you're a
no,
demon.
no.
Yes, you are so true in that. Okay, so I didn't look at the cast really, beyond those guys, and Matthew McFadden plays her dad in it, Mackenzie Foy's dad, and I wasn't expecting it, and you hear his voice, and I'm like, Mr. Darcy, because that's how I know him. He is my Mr. Darcy. I know everybody has Colin Firth if you're part of an older generation, but I am from a generation whose Mr. Darcy I was introduced to is Matthew McFadden. I'm like,
Mhm.
and then he's,
Kyle, who's Mr. Darcy?
You don't know?
I don't know.
you
I'm out
don't
of my
know
head.
Mr. Darcy from Jane Austen, Pride and Prejudice? Like,
Oh, okay. I never read Pride and Prejudice.
No, that's fair. That's definitely
I didn't
like.
ever
You
watch
never
the Keira
watched-
Knightley one either.
yeah, you have not seen the Keira Knightley Pride and
No.
Prejudice?
No,
Oh
that's
my
that.
gosh.
I'm not too surprised. Like I only remember that because of my mom, but
Because of my mom.
no,
Thanks.
like honestly, like that's up my mom's alley. So
Yes, well, I was like, oh, Mr. Darcy. I haven't seen him in anything in a while. And he played a character very similar, kind of like that stoic, but just hurting dad who had lost his
Aw.
wife. And I'm like, tears a little bit. I'm like, oh.
Let me heal you.
And then the whole idea of the children losing their mother, it was just like a knife through the heart. I was not
You
expecting
can't
that.
be that affected every time you see that
I
in a
can't.
movie.
I am.
no
I'm
matter how bad
It's
the
like
movie
one of the
is,
most
that'll get
common
her.
things ever.
I know.
It's a common trope for sure.
I think I'm still a young mom. Maybe when I become hardened and my children
when
are
you're
like
I want to leave my
are
kids.
teenagers and they're like,
It's
yeah.
2 more years. Just get out of my house.
Now they're smoochy, snuggly babies, and it just is like I will never leave them.
Oh, that will not last.
Yeah.
Enjoy that. Enjoy
I am.
that.
I am. I'm gonna take my son on a date next week to Grinch.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
She
to
said
like
it's next
nobody's
week.
full house.
Yeah.
Like what?
No,
You
We-
go laugh at Whoopi together.
Yeah, and he'll be like, "What?"
he wanted to go to Nutcracker with me, but I just don't think he would have enjoyed it as much. So
Yeah, it's
a little intense for the
Well, it looks
for
kinda-
younger guys.
Some of the character design, like just the Nutcracker, like soldier, are they like giant toys?
They are.
Yeah, they look kind of creepy.
I
The
don't know.
tin soldiers are kind of big and creepy, but the part that creeped me out the most, I don't think I'm giving this away because everybody knows Mousekewitz, the mouse
Mm-hmm.
king.
Yeah.
He commands all the other mice, and they make. You don't know.
Eric
Don't
and I
say
are
you
like,
do
what
and
are-
you don't.
I will admit on this, like Nutcracker is not one of my
Okay.
I
fortes.
know the song,
but
the
there is.
the musical piece.
I do know that there
Right.
is a mouse king.
Yes. Well, he commands all the other mice to create like a huge mice like creature
Ew.
thing, and it's like 10 feet tall.
Made out of mice.
Yeah, and the mice are all moving around on each other,
Oh.
and I don't like mice, and I'm
my
like,
mom.
What a
oh.
weird thing to.
My mom.
And then
Okay.
It's
and
like
then
a rat king. Those
yeah.
things are disgusting.
yeah, and then they grab Mackenzie Foy's character at one point, and they're running over her, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my worst nightmare. It was so terrible.
It's disgusting.
Ugh.
I
just-
realize I have a weird thing for mice too,
I
which is
don't-
probably not like
I don't like
toughest
mice.
thing, but I don't like
They're
them.
so gross. I will squeal and scream anytime I
like,
see one.
if it's like in a pet shop, I'll like get up close and look at them and be like, okay,
Yeah,
they're
because
kind
they're-
of cute, I guess.
They're
Sometimes.
caged and like
But
confined, but
like,
when
if
they're
if-
loose,
if, you're
ugh,
not expecting one, and you see it like scurry across your
Yeah.
floor. It's like,
I know.
kill it.
Yeah, it might be a good call that you didn't bring your son, because honestly, I don't know what this audience is. Who
would this movie was for?
yeah, like it's obviously a family film because it's from Disney, but what family is really in dire need to go see this?
It
let's
is
go
weird
see,
to go
like,
see like a 12-year-old girl be like, I'm gonna save a whole realm.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
the
is
never
there
Alice
like,
in
been
a,
into
is there
Wonderland
like
did
an epic
that.
Lord of the Rings type
Lord of
showdown?
the Rings.
Like a armies charging and fighting each other?
Like slightly, but not really.
Okay.
It's really only her and a few.
What is she saving the realm from?
The
Realms.
Mouse
I'm
King.
giving no. You find out he's good in the end. Okay,
Oh.
I'm just giving it all
Well-
away at this
well,
point.
that's
Well,
a-
I
but-
just who's when she enters there, I'm
Who's-
assuming somebody just like you
Who's
were
the bad
you were
one?
the chosen one.
Yep.
You can.
Mhm, you
Okay,
do
see,
that.
I'm just guessing that. And
She's-
I got that right.
Apparently,
but like,
her mother, who
was she-
died, created everybody in the realm because she was a really good inventor, and she actually created a machine that brought the toys to life. So she gave them life. So she became their queen.
she's like a necromancer.
And then, and then she left. After she died, she left the key and like everything to her one daughter. She has 3 children.
Oh, did
So
the
she-
daughter go bad?
To the middle daughter, no. So she leaves it all, which is Mackenzie Foy's character. So Mackenzie Foy is like this child that's hurting because she just lost her mother and she's lost, and she goes to her godfather's house, and where her mother, who is orphaned, goes to live as a child, and she gets her Christmas present because it's Christmas Eve. She gets her Christmas present, and she actually wanders into the realm. She finds the doorway into the realm as part of her Christmas present.
Is the doorway in a wardrobe?
No, she actually like literally walks down a hall through a doorway and comes out a tree. So
Sounds like Narnia to me.
it's very much like Narnia.
That's what I've been saying. It's a mix of Narnia and Alice in Wonderland.
It is.
That Disney has both done, but it.
Right. It is very
Okay.
much like that. Anyways, so she gets into this realm, but her mother hasn't been there for a long time, so they're like, "Oh, where's our queen? Where's our
Chaos."
queen?" And then they said that there was a war with the 3 realms and between the 3 realms and the 4th realm, which is the realm of amusements. So that's why it's been banished, and it's only ever referred to as the 4th realm. But then you find out that the regent of the 4th realm, who was Mother Gothel, who was
Keira Knightley?
no, the older
I don't
Helen
know
Mirren.
anybody else who's
Me-
in this movie.
Helen
Mirren.
Mirren. It's
Oh,
her
yeah, no,
character.
yeah. I remember her character poster.
You think she's the big baddie in it? She's not.
Oh, wow.
She's not everybody.
Ooh, that's a
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, no.
What now?
Just
Spoiler
leave it
alert.
at that
It's not
cliffhanger.
her. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I just wanted to.
There's a big twist.
Our spoiler
I never
warning.
would have thought.
Our spoiler warning sounds.
Cool. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
At least you had a good time with it. Like
I
don't know.
did.
I don't know if many people did when they first
I
saw
went
it.
in with very low expectations and was very pleasantly surprised. It was very
yeah,
cute.
I feel like it's hard to have a truly bad time at the movie. Like the worst thing
When
a
it's,
movie
like,
can be is
harmless.
just boring.
Yeah.
But like, if it's just kind of cheesy or derivative or kind of whatever in places, you can usually forgive that because hey, you're at the movies.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever, this is off topic, but have you ever walked out of a movie?
When I was little, I made my dad take me out of The Prince of Egypt because I was just crying my eyes out. I was too scared by the frogs.
There was.
But no, I've never consciously
Right.
walked
I
out.
almost have, but I'm trying to think of what it was.
Is it recent?
No, it might have been from a few years ago, and that's why I can't think of it. But
Yeah.
there was
I
like
never. I don't
definitely
really see
one or
the-
two where I almost have, but no,
Mhm.
usually I don't think
You
I've
stick
If
it through.
anything,
walked out
if
of one.
anything, I could just get to sit in a nice cozy seat and just
Take
have
a
something
nap.
to do. Yeah.
I mean, I've like bought a ticket, walked in the theater, been like, "Oh, there's no good seats," and walked right back out
Yeah,
and got a
they get a
refund.
refund.
Yeah, get a
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's not.
That's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Yeah.
But like
I
just
don't know if
angrily
I've-
walked out of a movie. No, I
I
can't.
don't think I have or
It
have
would
either.
have to. I mean, I just can't imagine a movie driving me to that point. Like, I mean, maybe if you know nothing about it and you go in there and it's incredibly boring and you find out that it's like 4 hours long and you're like, oh wait, I still have 3 more hours of this. No,
One that's
but I don't know.
I think
can't
I'm-
see myself doing that.
I think I'm remembering one of them. Do you guys remember a movie years ago called Seventh Son? It had
Yeah, is that like
Jeff Bridges.
is that one of those kind of Aragon type
Yeah,
fantasy
Yeah.
generic things?
I remember that one being like one of the worst things I've watched in a long time. Like it just
No,
was
Jeff.
just a complete misfire, obnoxious, boring movie that I didn't walk out on, but I was thinking back in my mind like I should not be in here.
Well, yeah, you get to that point and then all of a sudden you're not really thinking about the movie. You're just like, oh, I really want to leave.
Yeah.
And then you just think about the fact that you really want to leave until the movie's over.
Right.
And it's like, oh, yes, finally.
No,
Yeah.
I've rented movies and watched it for like 5 minutes
done that.
and turned it off.
I've done that.
Just
That-
be like, nope, this is bad.
I don't like.
Sure. Yeah. That happens a lot.
I mean,
But you don't have that kind of control in the
sometimes
theater.
it's like,
so.
I want to. Maybe this wasn't the right time to turn this on. I just realized there's other things I have to do, or I can't give this movie the time. But then there
Yeah.
have been other occasions where it's like, no,
Not
I
worth
don't
the
really
$5
wanna-
Right.
I don't really want
whatever
to
it
use
was.
up my afternoon with this.
yeah.
Like Spider-Man Homecoming.
Well, no,
Spider-Man had
except
Dead
not that
Pregnant.
one.
Not that one.
Except not.
You're
no.
right. I will finish it one day.
One day. But no movies I can think
Yeah.
of I've walked out on.
No.
And Nutcracker won't be one.
No,
apparently.
it's super cute and
Good.
nice.
I mean,
How
it
was-
sounds like it's super short. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went in at 6:00 and was done by 7:45.
Yeah.
Because of the trailers.
plus all the previews.
Yeah.
It's not bad at all.
No. So
And with a movie like that that has to cover as much ground, like it's so bizarre to me how movies can be the exact same length but feel
Mhm.
totally different lengths.
yes.
And so a movie like this, it sounds like when it has to cover all of this, all the different realms and establish these characters, have a sort of kind of battle thing,
Mhm.
I can imagine that it just kind of flies by.
The battle thing's kind of disappointing. They just don't really get into it. They do a little bit, but I really think that they just needed to have another scene or two of her mother either creating the characters in the realm
Well, it
or
sounds like her mother is like supposed
very
to be the
integral.
biggest thing in the movie.
yeah, and she's not. And there's just one scene with her talking about how she had discovered a land, and her daughter is like, "Oh, that's nice." I'm like, "Wait, your mom just said she discovered a new land," and you were like, "Oh, okay, mother."
Cool, mommy.
I mean, that's cool.
So,
Kids.
how was Bohemian? I am dying to know because I want to see it this weekend.
It's rather enjoyable.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
your brutally honest opinion?
Brutally honest opinion. No, I mean that really is my brutally honest opinion. It's enjoyable. I think going into it, I was hearing a lot of people kind of complaining that it wasn't the deepest dive into the complicated story of Freddie Mercury, and it isn't. Partially because of its rating, it being PG-13, so like they have to tiptoe as much as they can on going too dark into it, but at the same
just kinda
time,
cover the crowd pleasing moments.
yeah. And also, a large chunk of the movie does deal with like how Queen handled Freddie Mercury, and some stuff of it works, and then some stuff is not quite believable because it makes them look squeaky clean.
All the
when
other band
really-
members.
Yeah, like and
Yeah.
when really you're just like, even for a rock and roll band, like
I feel
you
like
still
you were all
would-
probably doing
Yeah.
the sex and the drugs. and the
yeah,
rock and roll.
exactly. Like it,
It
wasn't all just
Freddie,
Freddie.
and
So
then you guys are just these pure-hearted musicians wanting to, play for the fans.
right, and I mean, like, of course they were, and they would address that in the movie. Like that's what they always wanted to do first and foremost. But they just the rest of the band members, as compared to Freddie, like there could be a big difference between those sides, but like in some moments to the point where it's just not quite believable. But I think like the biggest enjoyment from it is seeing the obvious beats that the story goes through to tell the story of the band in general, and also Queen's music is in it obviously, and that really helps
What's,
make it
what's
fun to watch.
what span of time does it cover?
It starts where
Are they like not even a band at the beginning of the movie?
it starts with Freddie first joining the band when they just played at like pubs and had small gigs, and then it jumps. This quite isn't really a spoiler, and it's also a biopic, so it doesn't matter. But it jumps like a year later to where they're like, all right, let's finally like get an album made, and then from there they saw the success like quickly rise, and from there it goes to like how big the band was, and a lot of that's in the first half, and then the second half it covers a lot of ground to the kind of person Freddie Mercury was, and
like
a little bit of the complications that he had in his backstory.
And the AIDS.
Yeah, they cover that, especially towards the tail end.
Yeah.
Because he died when he was 45, so
Yeah.
there's not a
he was
lot
not
of
old.
span in there
Right.
to go over.
Yeah, but again, like there's just so much of Freddie Mercury that they could have tackled, or at least delved deeper into the complexities of what he went through during his fame, but it really doesn't. Like it shows it, but it doesn't really like delve deep into it. So if that's what you're looking for, like you'd probably be uninterested. But if you're wanting to go into it listening to Queen music while learning a bit about the band, then I think it'll be up your alley.
Want
Is
to
it?
see Rami Malek?
Sorry, what was that?
And you want to see Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury? He does a good job.
Oh yeah, he does a solid job. I think in the beginning, like you're not quite sold on it. But as the movie progresses and towards the tail end, you'll be like, yeah, he really does feel like Freddie Mercury.
Nice. Is it like I think the term's like jukebox musical? Like, do the Queen songs like play in their entirety? Is it like kind of a musical, or is it mostly just like, traditional movie scenes and then like a little bit of their concert footage?
The second one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It
not,
doesn't
like-
show actual concert footage. It
Not
shows them
like
performing.
actual, but like, does it take the time to sit there and just like that they play like songs in their entirety?
I won't, without giving too much away, the final scene does.
Okay.
Like quite a bit. And it's actually rather enjoyable. And
Assuming there are
fulfilling.
Live Aid performances in there,
Yeah.
because that was incredibly a huge moment for them.
Yeah, and that's a huge part of the movie as well.
Good to know.
Yeah. So I mean, if you are any kind of Queen fan and you want to go in expecting to listen to the music and
Have a good time with the band you love.
yeah, like it'll give you that. If you're looking for the edgy biopic that I think some critics were expecting, then it may not be worth your time, but I would say it's enjoyable enough to give it a shot.
I wonder if that criticism is a little unwarranted because they're coming off of a harder like look with Star is Born. They took that harder, kind of more in-depth edge of a struggling musician. And then you follow up with like another musician movie and it's not as hard. Because I just wonder like where the balance is. Like is Rocket Man gonna really balance the lows of Elton John with like because he's still around, so he could still say like, hey, I don't want to be portrayed that way.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I guess
It looks a little bit more hardcore than this does.
A Star is Born.
Rocket
Man. The trailer.
I guess it. I don't know. Just based on the one trailer we've seen, I guess you could make that assumption. I don't know. It's hard to say right now, but I think just critics were wanting, to just see like a deeper dive into Freddie Mercury, and they didn't realize that the marketing was showing that it's not gonna be that. Like they're gonna explain a little bit of Freddie, but it's also gonna explain the band.
Just kind of like a.
But I think the marketing was misleading. Like I saw ads where it's like, you love their music, but wait till you find out about him. Or
No, not really.
I remember some of those taglines.
yeah, there's some taglines in some of the marketing that really focus like you
Oh,
were going to get to behind the scenes on Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that, and
One of the harshest reviews I read, I think, summarizes it as basically Queen's Wikipedia page.
oh well, actually, that's a good way of saying it. Actually, like
I mean, like
I don't think it's mismarketing because they do kind of talk about some of the behind the scenes of Freddie Mercury, but it's not like the deepest of dives into the psyche of Freddie Mercury.
I just
think
need
some
to see it. I don't know. There's so many. Whenever I hear all these conflicting things, I want to see for myself, and then like, okay, I kind of see where this divide is.
Mm-hmm. But I don't think the marketing was misleading at all. Like it showed, to me, it showed exactly like what kind of tone it was going to be. It showed that they were going to talk about the band. It showed that they were going to talk a bit about Freddie, and they do. But
I don't think the trailer may be misleading, but I think the social media marketing is what was misleading. Like that's where I found all the taglines.
I guess if they would have called the movie like Mercury.
Oh, that would have been even
like
worse.
that. Because,
or like,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
what else was there? No, I can't.
they're
think
just
of
short of calling the movie Queen, So I guess that
Yeah, it could've
that
been-
kind of makes sense.
it. I don't know.
I feel like people make up their minds a long time ago of what they thought it was going to be, and either it ends up being that or not.
Yeah. Or either that, or they just did not enjoy it as much as they could have, and that could be a fair reason too.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Of course.
in terms of marketing in general, like I just didn't see it where it was misleading personally. But I don't know. Maybe some people do, but not me.
yeah, maybe the assumption was just if you're going to make a movie about one of the most famous and celebrated bands of all time,
Not to mention one of the most
tell
complicated
us things that we don't
rock
know.
and roll icons.
Yeah, tell us things that we can't learn by reading their Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think those people that want that won't get it out of this. But it's still
Yeah.
enjoyable
I'm
for
sure.
other audience members. So,
At the end of the day, you still get to hear Queen songs.
yeah, exactly.
I love Queen songs.
I mean, who doesn't? They're one of the greatest bands of all
Yeah.
time.
Well, I'm excited to check it out and see for
Me
myself.
too. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And Nobody's Fool. I am gonna go
Oh,
see
yeah.
2 movies this
Keep
weekend.
forgetting about that.
Don't forget about it. Tiffany Haddish. She's on fire. Okay. Speaking of some other films, we have some new sequels coming up that have just been announced.
Yeah.
Some long-time sequels in the making. So
Yeah, some of them, or one of them, or 2 of them in particular.
yeah, Martin Lawrence just agreed to do Bad Boys 3.
Oh, right. I
I
just
think
wrote
that
about
they've been trying to get
Yeah.
Bad
I
Boys
forgot
3
I
off
wrote
the-
about that, and that was just
They've
today.
been trying to get Bad Boys 3 off the ground for a long time now, I think.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rescheduling, a lot of rewrites, a lot of even some personnel
Yeah.
shuffling going on.
I think
but
for a long time it was even considered like just dead.
just dead. Yeah, but Will Smith and Martin Lawrence made it official on their Instagrams that they're both on board. It's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen until 2020 as of now, but it's
Right.
still
Oh, that yeah.
it's
that's
still
always
gonna
good.
happen, and that's cool. Like Bad Boys 1 and 2 are very special for like the action comedy
Yeah.
buddy
people-
team up genre, and like
Either
they just make
both
those
ironically
movies.
and unironically.
Yeah.
I feel like people love those movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
like,
no-
oh, sorry, go
I was
ahead.
gonna say another one that tried to copy it was Hitman's Bodyguard.
Which is also now
getting
getting
a
a sequel.
sequel. Yeah, I'm more excited about Bad Boys 3. though.
Me
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
Hitman's Bodyguard was such a boring movie to me.
like
Yeah.
the duo of Sam Jackson and Ryan Reynolds were funny in moments, but it
how
doesn't.
do you make a movie with the 2 of them be so boring? I don't understand. That was the biggest.
Or where
sin
you
of it.
walk
Yeah.
away from both of them and be like, I like what's her name more?
Oh, Salma Hayek.
Yeah,
She
I-
was the best part of that movie.
Yeah,
Well, you
how
know
do
she's
you-
gonna have a way bigger presence in the
She
sequel.
has
I mean, it's in
to.
the title, the Hitman's Bodyguard's wife,
Oh,
or the Hitman's wife's
Oh,
bodyguard.
wait, is that actually? I
Yep,
forgot about
That's
that.
the title.
That's right.
So she's definitely playing a larger role, as she
Yeah, 'cause I
should.
read
Like she
somewhere, I
was
think
one of the
it's-
funniest parts of it.
Sam Jackson's character hires Ryan Reynolds to protect him and his wife when they're like, I don't know, in some
on a
tropical
coast.
area.
In a here, I have it right here. Let me just pull it up. Which coast is it? The Amalfi Coast.
Amalfi. Interesting. Well, I mean, cool.
yeah.
I mean,
for
Bad
them.
Boys is more exciting than Hitman's Bodyguard
Do you
in
think?
terms of another.
Do you think
movie.
Hitman's Bodyguard 2 will be one of those rare sequels that were better than the original
I
movie?
hope because
It
I
could be.
I wanted that movie to be an entertaining movie. I loved
Yeah.
the 2 of them and Salma Hayek. You know, it's a simple but funny enough premise,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but it was just so boring. So
Maybe
I
the
can't
location.
imagine this one will be like any worse.
Maybe the location change will help. I mean,
Just I think more Selma Hayek. Will
Yeah, I think
help.
adding in that 3rd character to riff off of the other 2 will help a
Yeah.
lot.
yeah, definitely could. And what's the third?
Gladiator 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The most random. I was like, whoa, okay.
Yeah,
Just
this
in a
one.
time where we need another story about gladiators in Rome.
Well, I don't know how it's about. It's about Lucius. I forget her. I can't remember all their crazy names.
Roman names.
Yeah. The main woman in the first Gladiator, her son.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be following him.
As king or
I don't know.
emperor
It just
as a gladiator.
just follows him.
Oh.
I mean, it's just got announced. Who are we
Yeah,
to
that's
know?
pretty
Unless
much
it
all
really
we have to
Scott
go off
told
of.
us exactly like what it was.
Yeah.
Well, he told me. I
Oh,
don't
he
know
did.
about you guys. It's gonna be so good.
I almost forgot. You two are friends.
We are.
So I mean, I guess I'm glad. When I first saw that, I was like, okay, I still love him, but I don't know if I can see Russell Crowe getting back into that.
I don't think it has to be
physique.
He died.
Yeah.
He died
But-
at the end.
Well, there's another. I don't know if I want to go into it, but there's another sequel that was
Yeah.
apparently prepped a couple years ago about Maximus going into like purgatory and going through this crazy like metaphysical interdimensional thing, and then being reborn on Earth and doing the bidding of all these gods, and it sounded really cool.
Would that even
But
make
there's-
sense for it being a sequel to the first Gladiator?
Yeah. No, if you
think so?
read the outline, it's a really long, because it's basically the entire story. It's like a summary of everything that happens in it. And it makes sense if you can get on board with that initial thing, like a lot of it taking place in this like afterlife purgatory, and then
That just seems like adding a metaphysical element to it that wasn't there in the first one.
oh
so
no, it
it's
wasn't
just,
there.
Like
But
tonally
it's
wouldn't make
just
sense.
playing.
It's
It's
ooh,
it's
in
really
this one,
playing into the
yeah.
just the whole mythology of the gods.
No, but
and
it's like in
everything.
this one, let's add magic. I mean, out of nowhere.
sounds
No,
like-
I mean
that's
it's
not
hard
part
to
of the
explain
world.
it. You should look up, read into it, because it is really interesting. And it was written by Nick Cave, who actually has written some really cool movies.
Just sounds like a Clash of the Titans
Yeah.
sequel idea. Like if they ever wanted to dare go back to that.
I don't know.
More
I
than a
thought it sounded
Gladiator
cool.
sequel,
I
but-
thought it sounded super cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it could have been. Maybe
And
really
totally,
Scott could do
totally
that,
out
but-
there, and it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna make a sequel to Gladiator, you better make something that people don't know that they wanted, because I don't know. This new sequel, it's cool. At least it doesn't have Maximus in it. If it's not gonna be that old idea,
Yeah.
Because what else are you gonna
Where else
do?
do you go?
So that also makes me wonder, why is it? Can you even really consider it a sequel? It seems like it's just sort of like a spin-off sort of thing.
I mean, it just
Following
depends
this little
on.
kid, I guess.
It depends on what Scott wants to do.
Well,
Like,
hopefully
it's
the
just
kid
too
grows
soon to
up.
say.
Like, hopefully it's that young boy is a man.
Oh, it would have to be. I mean,
Right.
the kid's all grown up now. It's like 18 years later.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just was not expecting to read that. Oh yeah, Ridley Scott announced Gladiator
Yeah.
2. Like, what? Why can't anything just stay and just end?
And just end.
Just be what it is.
Well, some other exciting news that we had after Bad Boys and Hitman and Gladiator was that there's a new addition to the DC villains cast of the Birds of Prey.
actor join.
yeah.
There's gonna be
Oh.
no actors left in the entire world who's not in a superhero
Yeah.
movie.
So Ewan McGregor has signed on to be the villain in the new Birds of Prey movie.
Black Mask, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Black Mask.
That's actually really cool.
I feel like that's bringing these villains up a notch acting wise. Like, we're getting some
Mhm.
really good actors
it's
being
because
villains.
people love villains. They love
Yeah.
villains just as much as they love the heroes.
And
Well-
Black Mask is such a interesting B villain in the rogues gallery of DC that having the actor like Ewan McGregor who can go dark like just makes it all the more exciting for this project. Like this Birds of Prey movie just fascinates me the more I hear about it.
Yeah.
Like
The more
I'm loving what I'm hearing so far.
if I remember correctly, I think Black Mask shows up in some of the Batman Arkham games.
Yeah, I think so.
And I mean, you only really see what he looks like, and has a couple lines, but I was like, oh, he looks like a cool villain.
Yeah, he
So
is.
I have a vague understanding of who he is.
Right. He's basically just like one of the biggest mob bosses of Gotham City.
Yeah, and I have a shrine to Ewan McGregor. In my
I thought you were going to say a
basement.
shrine to Black
No, I have a
Mask.
shrine to
I
Ewan
was
McGregor
like,
in my
oh.
basement, and I worship him. So
I
I'll
mean,
see
I don't blame
anything-
you.
I'll see anything he's in.
Going from Christopher
Christopher
Robin,
Robin. Oh.
Obi-Wan, you know.
So beautiful.
Is that why you love him? Because he got to play a Jedi?
Probably.
Oh, that's probably a big part of it.
He's
Yeah.
just always been around, and I don't know. I love him in everything I've seen.
You know,
He's
the
just
first.
so talented.
What was your first film you got introduced to him?
It was probably The Phantom Menace, but Train
Yeah.
Spotting, my dad was watching, and I remember the opening sequence of that movie. I'm like, oh my god, why is Obi-Wan Kenobi like shooting up drugs?
I know, it's so. After you go from
Whoa!
after you go from the Star Wars movies, I liked. Oh no, I just had it. It was the one where he was in it with Cameron Diaz.
Oh, that musical.
Yeah.
Moulin Rouge.
Yeah.
No,
What?
that's not it.
Oh no, that's not.
Wait, that's
Cameron Diaz.
Nicole.
That's Nicole
Kidman.
Kidman.
Yeah, he's fantastic in that
Yeah.
movie.
No,
I
this
love
is
that.
it's a
Cameron Diaz.
comedy with Cameron Diaz and Holly Hunt, and I can't remember the other guy.
Is it an ensemble kind of thing?
He plays like Cameron Diaz plays this like rich girl, and
Is it A Life Less Ordinary?
yes, A Life Less Ordinary. Oh my
Okay.
gosh,
Oh, I've
that
never
is so
seen that.
good.
I've never seen that.
You
Might be one I
should
have to
watch
check out.
if you want a Ewan McGregor movie.
No,
Watch that.
Oh yeah.
He sings in it, and I was like,
Oh, he's such a
Ewan
beautiful
McGregor
voice.
can sing. Like that's the first time I heard him. Not Moulin Rouge, but this one.
Oh, melts
Yeah.
your heart with those
It's kind of a weird
pipes.
like.
He does have good
It's kind
pipes.
of a weird premise. Like
That dude's got pipes.
he's supposed. Is it Holly Hunt that's also in it? And
I will relook it up.
we look it up.
I have to close it.
Anyways, she plays like Holly Hunt and her partner are like angels, and they have to make
Oh.
Cameron Diaz and Ewan McGregor fall in love.
Oh, okay.
But they put him in these horrible situations, and
When's this movie from?
97.
Oh,
like
geez.
10 years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh man.
It's really not that old.
Oh, Danny Boyle directed this.
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah,
How have I
Holly
not
Hunter.
seen this?
Holly Hunter.
I've never even heard of this.
And
I think that's
who's
before
the-
Moulin
her-
Rouge too. So
who's the other guy?
you're like a
Ian
Ewan
Holm?
McGregor veteran.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Stanley
the deep
Tucci's in it.
cuts.
yes.
That's what you're talking about.
No,
Yeah.
not him.
What?
Not Stanley Tucci.
How do you not talk about Stanley Tucci?
He plays the dentist that she's supposed to marry, and he's terrible. But Ewan McGregor gets shot, and he has to perform some surgery on him.
I need to see this.
It is so weird.
I've never even heard of this.
It's very like artistic, weird.
Well,
I
it was a
think you
Danny
would
Boyle
really
movie,
like
I'm
it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the one sheet for it, and it definitely does look.
Ooh, hit me with it.
Yeah, I mean it's on the Wikipedia page, but it's on the right there. Like just the
I've
way it
never
looks
even heard
is.
of. Doesn't. No, that's
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Now I have a new movie to check out.
No, for sure. No, I mean this Birds of Prey movie.
John
I am way
Hodge.
more psyched for this than I thought I would be. Like everything I hear about it just gets me more and more pumped.
Yeah, no, and John Hodge wrote it. He's
Mm-hmm.
like a frequent collaborator with Danny Boyle. And neat, awesome. I'm gonna check this out probably this weekend.
Sure. Good.
Yeah, I think your girlfriend would even like it.
Yeah.
And my favorite line in the whole movie is when Holly Hunter's like, "Jeopardy Jackson always works. You'll love it." It's just the one line that I
Sounds
just
like a great
love in that
line.
movie.
Out of
Because
context.
she has that kind of like gravelly,
Well, if
kind of
it's
hard
if it's Holly
voice.
Hunter's voice, like she'll
Yeah.
make it work
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
for
I
sure.
love her voice.
Sorry, I got
Nice.
so excited.
No,
Oh, Ewan, you bring so much joy to so many people.
he's gonna bring so much joy with this villain.
Oh, I want him to. Oh yeah.
Well, so they have Ewan McGregor now in this film, and then they're doing a Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix. It's like, where are all these like really good actors coming out of the woodwork to be in DC movies now?
Yeah.
It's like a DC renaissance.
Yeah, I know. It's like, I mean, Marvel's getting a lot of cool people too, but like, these are actors that like have very strong, dedicated followings.
Not
Yeah.
people you would think would be in superhero films.
At this point,
Well, especially Joaquin
I'm- like
Phoenix.
I
You and
just-
I could see.
like
Yeah.
I said, at this point, every actor, I guarantee, is gonna eventually be in a superhero movie.
Yeah, for
Every
sure.
like main A-list actor,
Yeah.
and then the other ones will eventually be in one when their careers take off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, some of the biggest superhero movies, like in the past 10 years, have been held by like some upcoming actors. So
Mhm.
once they see like how well that can do for an upcoming actor, imagine what could happen with an A-list.
Well, I think a lot of it,
Actor.
I couldn't give an example of like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a metaphor, but like what set the dominoes into motion. You know, one really respected actor does it, and then I feel like a lot of other actors see that and they're like, huh, well, if that person is gonna do it, maybe I could
there's
do it
maybe
too.
I should do it.
Maybe these aren't
Yeah.
just little kiddie stuff.
Is it
Yeah.
Jeremy Irons?
Maybe.
Alfred?
Well, no, that was no.
He was good at it.
He was a very good Alfred.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just
But
trying to think of
I'm
that
talking
higher
about superhero
caliber.
movies in general. 'Cause,
Oh.
Honestly, it's Joaquin Phoenix. Like, that's the most recent one I could think of. That's
That feels like
that.
it made a turn, like
Yeah.
legitimized it.
Well, not the
Well, I don't know, you go
legitimized
back
it,
and
but
there's-
it's just like the most recent example.
Because Kate Blanchett being Hela was a pretty big.
That's a good example.
That's a good
Tilda
one.
Swinton
Yeah.
in Doctor Strange is another example.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to go back
how
'cause
Sir Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen in X-Men.
from 2000.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like they are very well respected, and once
Yeah, they're
people
like-
saw
they're
them
like
being in those genre films,
Thespians.
yeah,
Capital T thespians.
yeah, exactly. I mean,
And
granted,
best friends.
Yes.
like we've seen Ian in Lord of the Rings a little while later, and obviously Stewart was in Star Trek, but even still, like they were so respected that they legitimized
I
the
mean,
superhero
there's
genre
probably a
in a
difference
way
between that then and now, though, because now it's
everywhere.
it's just ubiquitous. You can't escape superhero movies, and
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people would be like, "This is ruining our industry. This is ruining our craft."
Oh, every once in a while you'll
But-
see an actor come out. I mean, Ethan Hawke is kind of like that. Like he's come out and he
Oh,
hasn't
yeah.
like trashed the genre,
No,
but he's
no,
just
I
like
kinda
it's
get
not
that-
for me.
that-
Like I just
yeah.
don't see all the hype for it.
The
with
counter
this and
argument is
that.
like, yeah, well, the superhero movies are cool, but
But
it'd
it's
be nice
not
to get
art.
it'd be nice to be it'd be nice to get some other stuff.
Do you think it was Heath Ledger? I think that maybe was
I think
it.
the reception of his performance
Yeah.
is what it was, because people loved Heath Ledger and he was a great actor at the time.
Though people didn't
he'd
think
done,
he
like,
was the right
Brokeback
choice.
Mountain and stuff. No, people were like, "What is this pretty boy doing?"
Yeah, there was
playing Joker?"
backlash on that, especially
I think that was probably a huge part of it too, though.
for sure. Christian Bale. Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah.
I think it was Heath Ledger though.
Yeah, 'cause
Well, I'm just
Ba-
saying Christian Bale could be
has-
another example
Yeah,
because he
But
was still
there's
an
always,
A-list actor.
I guess, this is kind of
I guess it has
it's kind
to
of
be
redundant,
something.
I guess, running in circles, because there've
Right.
always been good actors in superhero movies, but I guess now it just seems like more and more and more of these really respected actors who
'Cause
have
it's
been
much
around
more
for a
common.
long time are jumping on.
Maybe
sure.
there's something extra about it. It's not just an actor, but it's the role has changed. So like,
Oh, absolutely.
I think
the
Heath
roles
Ledger
change.
changed the role into being like, oh, you're just in a like kind of an action movie, a throwaway character, to being something that can be celebrated
Yeah,
as
no, it's a
like that's
it's
epitome of acting.
Good way of putting
good
that.
actors look for challenging,
Mhm.
complicated characters that they can, delve into and transform themselves with. And now we're getting to the point where you don't have to think that a superhero movie character can't be that type of role.
Right.
And I definitely think Heath
I
Ledger's
think-
Joker was a huge part of that.
And I
Yeah,
think
true.
that having a good role could also revive an actor's career, like I think it did with Michael Keaton to a certain extent. It like
Yeah.
brought him back up there.
Yeah, in a sort of meta superhero role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
I
point.
mean, another example of that is Robert Downey Jr. I mean, he was untouchable. Like people understood like how great of an actor he is, but with all of his personal issues at
Yeah, there was
that
a
time,
lot.
like it would be a risk to have
I'm
him
not
in
gonna
any
insure
movie,
this
let
guy
alone
who
leading.
drunkenly broke into a stranger's house and slept on their couch.
Yeah,
I'm
like
not gonna
just
insure that guy.
like not even that, like even some worse stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, he had some demons.
Yeah.
So
He-
I just
obviously
think, I
not
just think it's
now, but-
exciting. But I think if, fingers crossed, if this Joaquin Phoenix thing turns out really, really strong, then like what little stigma's left will probably just go away.
Ooh, and then Birds
really, you think so?
I think so.
and then Birds of
Wow.
Prey does its own thing. And then we get James Gunn doing the fun comedy stuff with Suicide Squad. It could be like a Renaissance rebirth of the whole DC feel. But we get
I know, I've
a
been saying
little
it for
bit of
few weeks
everything.
now. DC, I'm thinking DC is going to be the new front runner once Avengers 4 wraps up
I
the
definitely,
Yeah.
peak of Marvel.
I definitely like their new strategy.
Me too.
DC's.
It's refreshing. It's like getting good actors and interesting roles and not
For-
having to connect it all.
Yeah, exactly. Nailed it right
That's
there.
the key. Just
Yep.
focus on making movies, good movies.
Yeah, and I like that. Marvel can still do its own thing. That's fine, but
No, it's working for them.
sometimes we forget that one-offs aren't bad.
Right. I kind of feel like, and maybe this is premature, but I kind of feel like I'm getting too old for Marvel movies and I want something more adult or
get
more
what you're
my
saying.
level. Like,
I get what you're saying.
Like,
Sure.
I
I've had
wouldn't-
so much PG-13 movies. Like,
That's-
I'm looking forward
I
to
feel like
an
it's not
R.
an age thing.
That's
though.
surprising.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's not
Coming from you,
I
you're
know,
not so
right?
much of the dark.
Yeah, you're
I
only
know,
what?
but I am like
You're only what?
Yeah.
23, 24, like
Yeah.
us.
mid-20s, somewhere around there. We'll never know.
No, I get that though. I wouldn't say that it's an age thing. I would
Right.
just say that, you've seen
My
enough
tastes
at
are
this point.
maturing.
Well, yeah, in
Saturation.
a lot of the people who love the Marvel movies aren't necessarily. And I'm not talking about Kyle specifically here, but
But he
aren't
really is.
necessarily huge like cinephiles or like love all just movies in general.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Different emotions and stories and experiences you can have. They love their superheroes, and so naturally they're gonna want to see their movies.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a couple franchises that have gotten huge in nerdums. Basically, like Marvel films,
Oh,
DC films to a certain extent, and like Harry Potter is right up there, right? But I feel like what Harry Potter maybe has done a little bit better than Marvel is it's not grown with its audience, but it adds elements of darkness that are kind of actually really dark
Oh,
and
no,
more
there's-
mature.
Yeah,
I can see that.
absolutely. And I would
At
say
least it
absolutely
has with
grew its
Fantastic
audience. It grew with
Beasts.
me like simultaneously.
Yeah, but I think it's also still doing it with Fantastic Beasts.
I hope. Yeah.
This one looks definitely more dark, and there's a lot more killing and actual deaths in these things where people don't come back.
What? They're not coming back.
Did we watch the same trailer? I don't remember it being.
They kill a guy in the trailer.
I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, they did. That's
Who did they
right.
kill?
Yeah,
A guy.
Doesn't Grindelwald like explode a bunch of people? I feel like that's like said in the first Harry Potter book or
Yeah.
something.
but in
His
this,
thing is like he just like blew up a bunch of muggles.
I think he
Cool.
murders maybe like obviously a high up political figure. I don't know, but it's somebody that's escorting him back to Europe. So, and he's like, you either need to
So
be
it's-
with
Oh
me
no!
or
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
probably
yeah,
what
yeah,
it was
yeah.
in the trailer then.
In
Okay.
that carriage
Yep.
type thing.
Yeah.
You're
Just-
right.
Vada
No, I am-
Kedavra is him right
I'm
there, and he
excited
falls
for
out of the truck. It is dark.
Yeah, they're just different franchises doing different things for
Mhm.
different types of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Marvel's found something that is obviously working very well. Harry Potter found something that worked incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully DC will find something
Find
that works.
something that's working.
Which it's it's looking good for them.
I probably should watch Heath Ledger.
Yeah, you
Joker.
probably should watch The Dark Knight. It's only
That's-
10 years old at this
That
point.
still hurts to hear.
It's kind of an
Probably
important
watch
movie.
that, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Goodness.
talk a lot about his like role and
Oh,
never
man.
seen it.
Oh man, this role was so
It was
so transformative. It was incredible.
People
according to my
say it
friend.
Yeah, you didn't say people say it was. You did not say that.
Have you? I think I know the answer to this, but have you seen Batman Begins? Just out of curiosity.
it.
Parts of it. Okay. Well, I'll
You don't need
I'll
to
give
see.
you
I
that.
saw Dark Knight before I saw Batman Begins. But
I saw parts of that.
of the three of them, if
Of-
you have to watch one, it would be the
Of
Dark
the
Knight.
three of them, I've seen Dark Knight Rises the most. The most
Mhm.
of the film I've seen.
Yeah.
The third one.
It's kind of hard to compare to the other two. I
I've-
don't dislike it as much as a lot of people, but
Probably
there's a
seen
lot of
80% of
people
the
saying
third
it's-
one.
it's like Christopher Nolan's worst movie, or it's the worst of the three.
Really?
I would give Interstellar. Interstellar. I mean, it's kind of funny saying that just because like his worst one is still a solid movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like who the heck am I gonna say? Never mind. I lost. Oh, Steven Spielberg. I almost said Stephen Kane for whatever reason, but it's like with oh my goodness, Steven Spielberg. I'm losing my train of thought. It's like Steven
he's a
Spielberg.
popular
Like his
movie.
worst movie is like a good movie. It's like that. Okay. Whew. Got it.
Maybe.
Got it out.
Nailed it.
Steven
That was
Spielberg is
scary.
I think-
clunkers.
I've seen 80% of the third one and maybe like 25% of the first one, and I'm definitely liked what I saw more in the third one than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, and I've seen
Wow.
like one scene.
I like the third one a lot.
I've seen
I'll
only one
defend it,
scene
but
of the Heath
it
Ledger
has some,
one.
It has some glaring issues, but The Dark Knight is a very solid movie.
But Batman Begins is way underrated.
Oh yeah, no, I love.
So that
Batman
surprises me a little.
Begins. Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson.
Love Liam Neeson.
So good. I love Batman
Yeah.
Begins. But
Okay, maybe I'll have to watch all those and The Godfather.
yeah.
That's gonna be like 20 hours of movies right there.
That's just a heck of a marathon right there.
Plus, I gotta go see Nobody's Fool and Bohemian this weekend.
Let's face it, Nobody's Fool is at the top of the list. Like
Yeah.
everything else is way down at the bottom.
Whoopee.
Priorities.
Well, there's some upcoming trailers
Yeah,
that were
I guess-
really good.
Oh yeah,
that
there were.
we got to get to that I thought were excellent. But
Mhm.
the
There's
first
like
one,
4 or 5 of them, I think.
yeah, the first one I want to talk about that. Oh my gosh, I almost teared up just looking at the trailer.
Oh, I did.
Was Head of Honey. Well, you
Head
weren't
full of honey.
Head Full of Honey. You weren't watching it with, one of the partners standing over your shoulder and be like, I do not cry in front of my boss. I do not cry in front of my boss.
I would cry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Excuse
Nick Nolte. It looks amazing in this. Like,
You
Yeah,
may not-
basically the trailer, Nick Nolte has Alzheimer's,
yeah.
which is, in of itself, like, the saddest thing ever.
You may not understand him, but man, he will make you cry.
Seriously. Usually I'm good at that. People complain like, oh, I can never understand what Tom Hardy's saying. I couldn't understand what Gary Oldman was saying.
No,
The
it's
Dark Knight
Nick
Rises
Nolte.
trailer.
Is
It's like, no, you can understand if you pay attention. But
yeah,
Nick Nolte he was pretty hard to
and
decipher.
yet he's still
Yeah.
so good.
But I still teared up.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, it was
Because it fits. It's like, this is just a really broken, sad old man.
yeah. So this is a remake,
German movie.
Based on-
2015?
something like that. Yeah, same director. He's pretty much taking the same script and it's just doing it for an American audience.
yeah.
So
And another one we
He'll know what
saw
he's
that
doing.
was also German. I thought German director redoing it for American audience was Cold Pursuit.
I think it was a Swedish and Norwegian movie.
Was it?
I think. I'm not sure. That's what I heard.
Anyways, that one's
Well,
also
yeah.
an Americanized bring to America movie.
Mhm.
That, speaking of Liam Neeson, looked
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Cold Pursuit. The thing I liked about this trailer is, if you hear the kind of synopsis, it's like, Liam Neeson
real quick, Norwegian film.
Norwegian?
Yeah.
Ugh.
represent. But the thing I liked about this trailer is obviously people are going to compare it to all of Liam Neeson's recent action movies,
Mhm.
and which I love. But I'm not going
Right.
to defend all of them or say that they're great movies. But what I liked about this trailer is that they're not trying to make him an action star.
Yeah.
He's just this average Joe who decides to get revenge and go on a killing spree.
Mm-hmm.
For
No,
these
I thought it looked
drug
funny.
dealers who
It,
basically got his son killed.
it had definitely like a Fargo-esque feel to it. Not just
Oh, that's a
the,
good way of-
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, good way
not
of-
just the
yeah.
humor, but it's being in the cold too. Like
Uh-huh.
There were a couple jokes in it, but it was a lot more sincere than I was expecting.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And Fargo's
excuse
like
me.
that too, where there's humor in it, but it's very dry and very like under the radar.
Mhm.
And there's a few good one-liners that break up all the tension with the killing.
Yeah, which they're funny, but they're also totally fit with the violence that's
Right.
going on.
And I feel like this had it. When I first heard Cold Pursuit, without even looking at anything, I just saw one sheet and it said Cold Pursuit, and there was like a car and a tree, and I'm like, oh no, Liam Neeson's gonna have another one like in the Gray movie where he's like out in the wilderness trying to survive in the cold, and I'm like,
Beautiful
"Ah,
movie. Love
not
that movie.
another one of these. And then I watched the trailer, I'm like, so not what I was expecting at all.
Yeah.
So
No,
that
I'm
it
excited
looks
for
good.
that one.
Yeah, I think that one could be weirdly entertaining if it all goes right.
I want to watch The Gray.
If you want, sure.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie.
And then speaking of some humorous movies, there's the Isn't It Romantic with Rebel Wilson.
That was a surprise.
I think that
Yeah.
one might be. I mean, it was kind of a dry week for trailers for the most part, but this one I think was probably the best of the week.
yeah,
Like I
it was
weirdly
hilarious.
enjoyed this. Like just spoofing on rom-coms and how cliched and cheesy that they are, and like have fun with it while being an actual rom-com pretty much.
Yeah,
And
basically Rebel Wilson's character is this girl who was raised to, hate rom-coms because they're not true up of reality, and they give
yeah,
young girls the wrong impression of what life's like. And then in a bizarre chain of events in the trailer, at least, she knocks herself out and then wakes up in like a rom-com world, and basically, it's kind of like a fish out of water what's going on.
mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a familiar thing, just with
Oh yeah, I'm sure
a cool new spin on it.
she has like the hunky character that she thinks she has to fall in love with, but in reality,
Chris
it's her.
Liam Neeson,
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth. What is wrong with me with names today? Liam Hemsworth himself.
Right. So when I first watched it, me and Jane here, who's also in the
I
office,
think I kind of heard you guys.
We
say
were
the door.
like-
Did you think it was Chris Hemsworth?
no, we said that is poor man's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Oh,
it
he's totally
didn't even
You're right.
cross my mind. It was
Yeah.
Liam Hemsworth.
great value.
Oh, you
I
just didn't
just-
recognize him.
No, I didn't recognize him at all. He
Oh.
looked skinnier. Like he looked like a poor man's Chris Hemsworth. Like they got
because
somebody
he
else
is
complete-
a poor man's Chris
Yeah, but not like
Hemsworth.
his brother. Like I don't know. I
don't know
picture
if I've ever seen a movie with Liam Hemsworth.
Hunger Games.
Oh yeah, I forgot I watched.
Yeah,
those.
but that's the face that I think in my mind when you say Liam Hemsworth. Like,
yeah, the beard is what cat. He has a beard in
and
this one.
his face is a little bit more full because I think he's buffer. Not that he's not buff in that trailer, but
he's just buffer.
yeah, he's just more weight to him. This is very
He was
thin cut.
This must be a trend with the Hemsworth brothers. He's weirdly funny in this trailer.
Oh my gosh!
Like
yeah.
it just must be a thing with them that you think like they're just decent, strong
genes.
Yeah, like it just must be that when it comes to
Something
them.
in that Hemsworth blood.
So Jane comes back and she's like, "You're not gonna believe this. That's Liam Hemsworth." I was like, I feel so stupid. I
think
should have
heard
recognized that.
Actually, now that I think about it.
But that's what that whole conversation was. Like, we did not think it was Chris Hemsworth, but we didn't think it was his brother either.
Huh?
So-
that's
Why
funny.
is this guy trying so hard to be Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah, that's exactly
Well,
what
I mean,
thought.
look at if your older brother is like the guy that he is, like you have to
Liam.
find some way to get that same kind of a success. Like I don't blame the guy.
Wonder
I
if
don't think
there's
he's as
sibling
talented as
rivalry there.
Chris, but
Wonder if there is sibling rivalry there, because obviously
I feel
Liam's
bad-
a very
Maybe.
good-looking guy.
I feel bad for the older
But-
brother.
but he's like,
he does have Westworld, so he's doing okay with that. I think he's still in
The
Westworld.
oldest brother.
Yeah.
oh, wait, there's an oldest one.
Yeah,
There's 3 of them, yeah.
yeah. The oldest one is like shorter and not as good looking as his
What's
other
his
brothers.
name?
Well, that's mean.
What's
It's
his name?
true
He's
though.
a good-looking chap.
He's not as.
What's his
I
name?
said not as.
Well, have
Uh,
you seen the third Franco? Third
I actually did
Franco
not
is-
know there was a third
Third
Franco.
Franco is not. He's not gonna be an actor.
Is the third Franco older or younger?
I think he's older.
Luke Hemsworth.
Luke.
Yeah.
What is he?
He's shorter though. That's what's funny.
What has he been in? I can't think of any. All I can think of is Westworld. Actually, he
Yeah.
played Thor in. He played the
Oh,
Thor
yeah.
stunt double in.
Opposite Matt
Thor in
Damon's.
Ragnarok?
Yeah, that was him.
Okay.
Opposite Matt Damon's Loki.
Aww.
That was him.
Oh, poor guy.
I think it's hilarious.
You should really quick Google third Franco.
I will in a second. All these
Is that what you Google? Third Franco?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. I'm
man,
gonna
some of these
try.
movies.
Franco
so,
number 3.
Some of these movies so far, like I can't. Well, my laptop just died, so Cody will have to do that. Anyway, the third Hemsworth brother, Luke, he's doing fine with Westworld if he's still on the show. I actually haven't caught up.
Does not look like his brothers
no,
at
not
all.
What's his name? The brothers Franco.
I literally, I seriously, I'm learning this now. I had no idea that there was a third Franco brother.
Yeah.
It says we're just finding out there's a third Franco brother. That's
Apparently they
right.
did too.
James and Dave have a sibling born between them named Tom. Tom Franco.
In all fairness, those are all white
Oh.
names, white boy names. So
Yeah,
like,
but maybe it's just because I'm looking at the picture of them. You know, when you James Franco and Dave Franco, they sound like movie star names, and then you hear Tom
Well,
Franco.
James Franco and Dave Franco look a lot alike. Like their
Yeah.
face
they
structure
do.
is the same.
Yeah,
Tom's it's got like this different, way
He's
different
adopted.
There's a
faces.
story.
Maybe
There's a
he
story here.
he must take after his dad or something. The other ones take after mom.
could be. Maybe it's just a thing with celebrities and having 3 sons. Like 2 out of 3 have to
Yeah,
be
you
like
can't
the
be
better
3 for
ones.
3. One of them's gotta.
I have 2. Should probably.
Don't
Are you
have a
saying
third
If
don't
you have a third one, you
Not
might be
have a third one.
disappointed.
Oh no.
You can have a girl, but if you have a third son, oof, he's gonna live his life in his brother's shadows.
I mean, yeah, that's clearly what's about to happen here.
No, I'm sure Tom Franco's a great guy.
I'm sure he loves his accounting job. I imagine he's an accountant.
He's his brother's as like
Yeah.
agents. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. I mean,
Or,
they
no,
could. I don't know.
I prefer behind the camera stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yes, I'm sure you do.
No, but Liam Hemsworth looks pretty funny and isn't it romantic? So I think that's what helped me like that trailer even more as well. It's just
No,
the
that-
comedy talent in it.
See, I told you he's shorter.
Aw.
We're looking at the Hemsworth brothers now.
I mean,
He's shorter isn't a bad thing.
he's still doing okay. So like, I'm not gonna hurt the poor guy's feelings.
They all have like the same smile though. You can tell they're all
yeah,
they definitely all came from the same stock.
the same Australian stock.
Yeah. I think that's also why because Liam Hemsworth sounded just like his brother. And it wasn't the accent, it was just that inflection in his voice.
I got
Morning, beautiful.
for
That
some
scene
reason
is so
there's nothing
funny.
about his scenes in the trailer that made me think he was like a huge airhead. but he reminded me of Chris Hemsworth's character in Ghostbusters.
No, that's fair.
That's what I was
I
thinking.
could see that.
I think it's his enthusiasm is what you're getting from that.
Yeah.
That's
And
it.
natural
That's it.
charisma, just like, I'm going to play a dorky role, but you're going to love it.
Yeah.
Do we have any other trailers? I can't remember
yeah.
them now.
We saw a couple more. There was another talking about romantic comedies. This one's a romantic drama, 5 Feet Apart.
Oh, with
yeah.
Cole Sprouse and Haley Lou Richardson.
Was it cystic fibrosis?
Yes. Yes.
That's what they both have.
They are.
Fibrosis?
It is just like A Fault in Your Stars. You have 2 leads who have a are deathly sick with a could be terminal illness, and they're in the hospital awaiting their lung transplants, and they've had to keep 5 feet apart from each other lest they get each other's bacteria and ruin their chances at a lung transplant.
Aww.
Yeah.
A little
But they
sad.
fall in love.
Yeah, I think those two.
Nothing can keep true love apart. Not even cystic fibrosis.
Bad lungs.
I don't know.
Well, maybe that.
It looked charming enough. I like the
Yeah.
2 leads. I think they're actually pretty talented actors in
Cole
their own
Sprouse
right.
He's grown up. He's grown up a bit since
Yeah,
living in the. What was that hotel name in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody?
the Tipton Hotel.
Tipton.
Yeah, like
Tipton
the best hotel that you'd want to stay at.
They got away with so much.
Yeah,
Anyways,
really though.
no, I thought
Is that why it's sweet, like SUIT?
Yeah,
It's a play on words. It's a pun.
Oh,
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Anyway,
I totally know
yeah.
what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, you've seen it too.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no way I was in college when that came out.
But I mean, Cole Sprouse is also in that Riverdale show, and he's weirdly like,
oh, that's right. He's like Jughead, isn't he?
yeah, he's actually
That's right.
might be the best actor
I've never seen
out
that
of like the
show,
younger cast, like which is very surprising, but also really great
so
to see.
he has a brother. What's his brother doing?
but
I think he
probably
just.
trying to do something with the music.
I thought
There's always one.
he went to
brother that does
college
that.
for like web design or something like that. I
Oh,
think.
is he just trying to do like a normal life?
I think so.
More power to him.
Yeah, I mean, after like the success that you get as a
Yeah,
kid,
he
like
probably
he
made
probably
all
just
the money
want.
he'll ever need
Yeah.
when he was like 7 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Cole Sprouse, like, I mean, good for him for still wanting to branch out into acting, and he looks good in this, and I like the actress. Like, she's been in some good stuff lately and has done pretty solid. So,
No, I mean, it's exactly the kind of movie it is.
for sure.
Just it has a very specific market or demographic it's aiming at, and it'll probably be a success within that market.
According to his Wikipedia page, he went and got a degree in video game,
Oh,
That's
okay.
right.
and he has recently opened a meadery.
Meadery?
A meadery.
Ooh, I'm gonna go drink mead at his place.
That's
Good for
that's
him.
kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that sounds like a really cool life.
I mean, with the recent pictures I've seen of him, like, that kind of makes sense, because now he has, like, even longer hair than before.
Probably
and-
pick up streaming. He'll
Yeah.
stream and drink mead.
I mean, good for him. Like, he's gonna live
No, that's
comfortably, and, like, why not try different stuff? And
He's also
this totally
still
relates to the
acting
movie.
a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure he'll
Yeah,
pick up the occasional gig here and there.
He's got to pay for that meadery now.
Yeah.
true. That might
few
that might help.
meadery money.
So
Yeah, good for him. That's awesome.
yeah. So anyway, as with
Yeah.
Cole Sprouse, like this, I think what will come down to is if these two can lead the movie and make it enjoyable to watch. And by the trailer, it seems like they'll be able to do that just fine.
I
so.
do like her
Yeah.
a lot. Like, I thought she was great in Edge of 17.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize her in this, though.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that
Mhm.
earlier. No, she's great in that. She was in Operation Finale this year, and she had a small role, but she did solid for what was given to her. So,
Well,
yeah,
this
not a bad
could-
actress.
This could launch her career like it kind of, like Fault in Our Stars did for
Shailene Woodley and Ansel Elgort.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it all plays out right, it could.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Very
I
well
thought Fault
could.
in Our Stars, as cliche young adult as it was, it's
Oh.
a solid movie.
I watched
really
that.
liked it.
I watched that pregnant and bawled my eyes out. It was so bad. Not only is it
Watch
just
the what?
I watched Fault in Our Stars
Oh,
pregnant.
while pregnant.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
The whole movie, I just bawled my
I was in the-
eyes out.
I was in the theater watching that, and it's hard to watch it while everyone else around you is bawling their eyes out, and you're just like, I
didn't cry.
I kinda wanna
to, 'cause
cry,
I
but-
love. Maybe this is just me, but I love when a movie can make me cry. It's like
Yeah.
one of my favorite things.
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
And I had heard that the book's the saddest thing ever, and my friend strongly recommended it. So I read the book in one sitting because the movie was coming out like 2 days later. So like, okay, let's do.
Oh,
this.
you read the book too? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I watched. I was like, yeah, that was a really sad but beautiful movie.
I knew one of them was gonna die at the end, so it's not like it should have been a shock to me. But I was like,
Maybe both of the leads in this movie will die, and then it'll be like The Notebook, and they can finally touch. They can hold hands. Their dead bodies can hold hands.
oh, I've never seen The Notebook either.
Oh man, that's a sad movie. I mean, it's like the butt of all jokes, of all rom-com jokes. But hey, it's Ryan Gosling one, first of all.
And Rachel McAdams.
True.
Yeah, I can't
And they
remember
were
who plays
a couple
the
in real
old
life
couple. I can't remember who
that
plays
time.
them as old people.
I don't remember.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's like another movie with Alzheimer's, but that's like one of the saddest endings ever. but also beautiful.
See, he's joking up right now.
It's just, it's so pretty.
And then on a lighter note, we got a fun animated film that we saw a trailer for,
Yeah,
starring
it's
Will
kinda
Smith.
Weird.
This one weirdly makes me angry.
Called Spies in Disguise. I thought it looked awesome. I was like, I'm
The
taking
first
my
half
boys
was
this.
awesome, but then when the spy played by Will Smith turns into a pigeon,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I think it'll be
Why?
funny.
That's so out there.
why a pigeon? out of
Why
any-
anything? If you're gonna transform him into something, why not make it?
But
a
it
pigeon?
looks so cool with like all the spy stuff that they're doing, and then
it just
instead
looks like
they're gonna.
any other's cool spy thing. Like
It looked. I don't know.
There could be a scene. It's just like, okay, yeah, let's go through all of the super stereotypical things that spies do.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because
Let's turn it on its head.
his animated version, he looks funny, I guess, with his really weirdly proportioned face.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it turns into a pigeon. I'm like, that is incredibly random, but okay, I'm on board.
I hope there's a scene where he hits a piece of glass and leaves
Oh,
an
you know
imprint.
there's
Oh,
gonna
there
be.
has to be. There has to be.
Apparently, it's based on a short film with an infinitely cooler name because the movie is called Spies in Disguise, but the short film is called Pigeon Impossible. It's the best name.
Yeah, that's a
I
weirdly
don't
missed
understand
opportunity for
how
them.
why would you change that title?
They might not have had copyright or had to pay too much for it or
You
something.
could never pay too much for Pigeon
For a short
Impossible.
film, though, I would think you'd be okay. I don't know. Maybe you're right.
I don't think the guy who made it, I forget his name,
Maybe the
something Martin or Martell or something. I don't think he's involved with the movie version, so
Oh.
it could be something like that.
Yeah. I thought it looked cute. It's by the animation studio Blue Basket or Blue,
Blue
Sky.
Sky.
Yeah. Blue Basket. That's a gas station here in town. Blue Sky, but they did Ferdinand, and Ferdinand turned out to be really good. So I'm hoping that there's a good underlying little story there.
And we got Tom Holland's. Has he
Voice.
voice acted before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I did not catch it was Tom Holland.
Oh yeah,
But I was like, that sounds familiar, that voice.
I love Tom Holland.
At first, I thought Will Smith's voice was, why can I remember his name? Don't
I
look
don't
at
know.
me. Don't look at me until I can figure it out.
Okay, we'll just handle this while she's
I don't know,
looking
sounded
it
like,
up.
Sounded like Will Smith to me.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
It sounded and looked like Will Smith.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, if maybe they did that on purpose.
What?
Made the character look like Will Smith almost.
Just a highly caricaturized version.
Yeah. I think if they did, that would be really funny to me because then they'll just add to the
Samuel
self-awareness
Jackson.
even more.
That's who I thought it was at first.
That's not even
I
shocking.
just thought it-
about Samuel Jackson.
That's not
I
even
just thought
shocking.
it was that him at first. I'm like, oh, they got him to be in an animated film, and then it's Will Smith, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
That's still good.
I
Will
just
Smith
kind
is a
of-
great
Will
actor.
Will Smith is, in my opinion, trying way too hard to be hip on social media.
like to be smooth
oh
still.
man,
Hey, he's cool still.
Well, I mean, he's gonna be in Bad Boys 3, so that's pretty.
Like,
cool,
if
I
you
guess.
were announcing the genie, would you be like, I'm blue, y'all? That would be like your big.
Well, I
cool-
hope you don't go there, but
I don't know. I just thought that was a little lame.
just
Maybe
think he
he's too
likes-
much like
he likes
he's too
taking-
dad.
he likes taking pictures of himself too much with really exaggerated expressions. I'm like, you're not that excited.
what? He's always that excited.
No,
Will
he's
Smith.
not.
He's Will Smith.
No.
When is he never excited other than the pursuit of happiness?
Just look at
Oh
his,
wait, no, he's still excited in that one.
that was like
Concussion.
13 years ago now.
I mean, yeah, Concussion could be another one.
Yeah.
I never saw that movie.
Yeah.
Pursuit of Happiness is good though.
My buddy was telling me that was a good movie.
Have you not
Concussion.
seen it? Oh,
No.
I thought you were talking about Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh no, no.
I've not seen either of those either.
Pursuit of Happiness is a very sad but uplifting movie.
Mm-hmm. And Will Smith is a good actor, so. Anyway, that was. I don't know. I mean, there's not much to
kinda
add
went
on
full
with this
circle on Will
trailer.
Smith right there.
Yeah.
I'm just a little disappointed it's not Samuel L. Jackson.
I'm not. I
I
mean,
you'll get your helping of Samuel Jackson with the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
has Jackson not done a voice acting role?
Oh, I'm sure. No, I'm
I can't
almost
think.
positive he's done multiple voice acting
I'm
roles.
trying. Oh, wait, Frozone and Incredibles.
Oh, yeah, wow.
I'm an idiot. Yeah.
The ultimate voice acting role.
Yeah, that's. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it,
The number of times
I'm gonna kick myself later.
The number of times I've just yelled out his "Where's my super suit?"
my super
with no
suit?
context. It's
Yeah.
perfect. What do you need to know?
No, I'm so dumb. I can't believe I forgot about that. And like Incredibles 2 came out
Well,
this
maybe it's
year.
just because you don't think of him as Samuel Jackson, you think of him as Frozone.
I mean, that's a good point too. Yeah, that might have been my first introduction of Sam Jackson, actually.
What?
Well,
I guess Incredibles 1 was
growing
like
up with
2004.
growing up with Incredibles, that might have been.
We were youngins.
Because honestly, every other movie he does would not have been suitable for me to watch by any stretch of the imagination. But yeah, I think that
Fair.
probably was that was my first time hearing him, at least.
Even my kids love, where is my super suit?
Yeah.
But my son will say things like, where are my socks?
Where are my socks? Syllables don't totally line up, but I'll
Yeah.
forgive him.
It's still funny.
But it's cute when it comes from a little kid.
Yeah.
You sound like a South Park
I was
character.
just gonna
Yeah,
say, you
yeah,
sound like
yeah.
a South Park character doing that.
Cool. I think was that the last trailer?
That was.
Yeah,
We hit them all.
Yeah.
Today.
one that'll shatter you and make you cry. One that'll make you laugh. One that apparently will make you angry if you're Kyle because
Yeah.
he
It's
doesn't
just-
like pigeons.
Why?
He hates pigeons. I didn't know that.
Well, who doesn't hate pigeons?
Got a
One
nice-
that'll get your adrenaline pumping.
You're talking about
Cold Pursuit.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that one.
revenge,
I guess-
justice.
And then one that will melt your heart and make you fall in love all over again.
From a distance.
Is that
Yeah.
from a okay? So
Yeah.
it is that one. I'm trying to remember what all that we saw. Yeah. So
nice
cool.
nice wide range.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know how short and sweet that one was, but
It's a Friday wrap up. We got a little off track,
tends to
like we
happen.
Here and
always
there.
do.
Hopefully, people stuck around though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. If you
Okay.
did.
Have a good weekend.
Cool.
Goodbye.
Go to the movies.
Bye.